Welcome to Two Guys on Mike Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Thompson, coming to you live on a special occasion. We're going to be with our friends here talking about Daytona 500, the president being there, the beast going around the track, and everything else. We got Jeremy Connors here, and also our good friend Ping, the Flying Pierogi.
Dave Pingalski, Half Moon New York.
Half Moon New York. And it was a 67th running of the Great American Race, and it was a packed audience, 150,000 in the stands. How was it?
Hundreds of thousands in the infield.
Epic.
It always is.
It's an epic event.
It's
Yep.
Daytona, baby.
Yes.
Yeah. It's I got to tell you, Jay, it's one of the marquee events, right? We look forward to it. Yeah, marquee. It really is. It's,
I know you guys breathe and shit this stuff.
Yeah. Well,
Hey.
some variation thereof, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for the viewership out there, they kind of know me, right? We do some cameos here on the TGM,
I wouldn't call them cameos, but okay.
but we have
I don't know about
Dave,
that, Jer.
Dave Pingalski
Yeah, man.
here, right? Yeah, man.
Oh, where
So
are you?
Dave, tell us a little bit about
hold
yourself.
on. This is like Dave's.
Has it happened yet?
You have.
We're live.
we
so
are
yeah.
live, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah. So
You
it's
are on the
happening.
interweb,
Wow. that felt
globally broadcasting on
That's
the
it. Wow.
greater TGM Studio platform.
Congrats.
So don't clam up on us.
good. That's
Yeah.
all right. We won't get there. I'm going to stay right where I am.
We don't want no bad clam on this
That's
stage.
right.
No. Oof. So Dave,
Tell us.
you've been you've been a lifelong race fan and turned now crew member. Tell us a little bit about your history here and with racing and you do outside of here. I know Jay has been live at your shop.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, been going to the races all my life. My dad, my uncle, Albany Saratoga Speedway Friday nights, Fonda Saturday nights.
Big dirt guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Been on multiple teams, doing the dirt series.
Hello, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Had the chance to go to Daytona or go to NASCAR World way back in the 90s.
That's the heyday of NASCAR, as far as I'm concerned.
Pretty much
yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I loved it.
I didn't make that transition. 35, 40 years later,
Yep.
now I'm here.
Yeah,
I
man.
waited too long. I just,
So
We didn't have the money back then. No, none of us had
right,
money.
Marry a girl, you get together and
Start a family.
start a family up here in upstate New York. And
Everything goes on the wayside.
now we're looking. And so we're making it happen.
yeah, so tell us about the team and how that all came about.
So, got
Team. Whoa, what did I miss? What team?
The 74 with our driver
Mike
Carson
Harmon,
Ware.
You're on the Mike Harmon
Mike
Racing.
Harmon Racing,
team.
yeah.
Mike's a great
Nice.
guy. I love small time racers.
Yeah.
Mike's a great guy. Jeremy introduced me to him probably 3-4 years ago at Bristol. I wasn't supposed to do nothing. Got my hands dirty on the track a little bit.
What'd I tell you, Dave?
Just look like you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Act like you belong.
That's
Look like you
it.
belong here.
Yeah.
And that's all I did. And then Mike gave me a crew shirt that night, and
That was
I've been
it.
texting him ever since.
And you've been hooked.
Hooked.
Yep, I'm hooked.
Actually, I did have the opportunity to meet Mike Harmon at Watkins Glen through
Yep.
Jeremy. Through a mutual friend, really. And I have to say, talk about a down to earth guy. I mean,
Absolutely.
man of mild mannered and just easygoing for the most part. I mean, I'm sure he gets
Oh, he gets
pissed off
amped
at
up.
times, you know, but
He
but
barks.
when it
Oh,
comes
yeah,
to
he barks.
dealing with people, pretty mild mannered, social,
Yes.
and really
Yep.
not full of himself at all.
Very much so. I have a lot of respect for him. He's taken his licks.
Yeah. I'm in a big wreck he'd had
Bristol.
back in
Bristol. Yeah.
Yep. I think it's probably one of the most
10 years
watched,
apart from Michael Waltrip's, by the way.
watched video on YouTube. Is the Mike Harmon wreck.
Yeah, that was
And he
pretty
walked
horrific.
away.
And he walked
He
away.
walked out. He walked out of the car. What was left to it?
That's it.
Crazy.
Yep.
So I don't know if you knew this, but several years back, we actually had the Mike Harmon rig parked at our campsite at Watkins Glen with the car rolled out in our campsite.
Yep.
It was pretty awesome.
Taking
Were you there?
fan donations.
Not for that one. My first race at Watkins Glen has to be I know Rusty Wallace won it. The 19.
No, this was only a couple years ago.
Oh no, I was
Oh,
back
yeah.
in the 87.
No, I'm
88.
saying when I had Mark
Yeah.
Harmon's car, it was only a
Yep.
couple years
Yeah, I
back.
think you were there.
I
What
wasn't
2? We were there 2 years ago.
2 years
right?
ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We were in the
Yeah.
driver owner lot. Just saying.
Yeah, my first.
I don't want to hear it because I heard many rumors that it kind of sucked over
It was
there.
awesome. You know,
I-
it was good though.
Like
it was a good.
we were right
spot.
next. We were right next to
Sucked.
KB.
Yeah.
I do recall somebody,
Rowdy
I won't
Bush.
mention anybody in this room, that said, it's pretty boring over there after 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually. You had to go outside.
Yeah.
and
The red-
slide to get at
Exactly.
it.
The
You
red
know.
carpet got rolled up and
Yeah.
lights went out.
Yep. Quickly too.
But
There's a reason why, what's his name, came and hung out with us?
Yeah, exactly.
What was his name?
Craig?
No.
Which one? Oh, Jeff left court.
Jeff Leftcourt. Boy,
Yeah.
that was a
Yep.
fun night.
that was good.
That was great.
Yeah, that was wild.
So, back to our topic du jour here. The Beast on the track.
Oh my
Air Force One
Epic.
flying over.
Epic.
The Donald walking the hot pit. How was that? You guys were there. You guys took it in live.
You know, I'll tell you, I haven't felt more patriotism, more patriotic than that day, right? Other than the podcast that we did that, during his inauguration.
That was awesome.
It was awesome. We did a live stream, and but to see the people there, I mean, it was awesome. The crowd erupted. You could see Air Force One coming through off the beach side, and
They made a loop.
made a loop in front of that track.
And the thing is, most of
holy
us are not
crap.
used to seeing a 747. That's a big freaking plane.
It's a big plane, and he was only
300
500 feet.
300 feet.
300.
300.
Yeah.
Yep.
But- So that must have been a little bit like that one year when they did a C5 Galaxy flyover at Watkins Glen.
Oh yeah.
That when the guy did the tip the wing,
Oh,
and
yeah. He
you
tipped
felt like
it.
you could reach up and
Listen,
touch the thing.
They tipped the wing for Air Force One. It was freaking amazing.
Yes.
Really?
That's
awesome.
a salute to the fans,
Yep.
right? And I mean the energy that day.
The place just went bomb.
Was the crowd really as loud as they
Oh.
say it was when he came out and
Loud?
he waved?
Yeah.
Loud. It was deafening.
Absolutely.
And you're in
Really?
the open air. But I'll tell you this though, Jay. The most secure venue that I have ever set foot in was last Sunday at the Daytona 500. The Secret Service had that place locked down. The locals had a place locked down. We have credentials, right? So we are vetted through NASCAR. We are vetted through the FBI and other various different law enforcement agencies, and so we pretty much have free access to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except
They actually were scanning Richard Petty. Every driver had to go through an X-ray machine. The most strict security that I've ever seen. In fact, I'll tell you this, and I feel bad because some people save all year to go to this event. Okay,
yeah.
they waited 4 or 5 hours outside to get into the venue. But I'll tell you, and that's not a fault of the track or anybody else. That wasn't, because the track, numerous social media outlets were telling people, get to the track early. Make sure you don't bring what you normally bring. I mean, I have radios and stuff, right, that I carry that are mine, just like Dave does. And they were like, what is this?
So it was actually Secret Service at the gate.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yep.
they brought, TSA was doing the pre-check.
Yep.
They're checking your bags.
X-rays.
Everything. X-rays, the wand.
Yeah.
You walk through 2 metal detectors.
Yeah, it was wild.
Wow.
It was wild. I mean,
Military.
how about that? How about the aluminum can thing, right?
Yeah.
So if you brought aluminum can, they had a separate line. So if you had a regular bag, but if you brought aluminum cans, which you can't bring glass into the racetrack anyways, you would have to go to another line,
Yep.
which was from it. It was it had to been a mile long, right?
Absolutely. It was nuts. There was thousands of people.
I did see some pictures on the interweb of some of the wait times and people waiting in line, but everybody seemed like they were happy and jovial.
Yeah,
and,
First race
yeah.
of the year.
It moved pretty fast.
Yeah.
Still 5 hours waiting in
No,
line.
no, that's like,
Oy.
Well, actually, we discussed that Saturday, right?
I would have been like, what am I at Disney?
yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
You just weren't getting touched.
Yeah.
Hey now.
Hey, now.
Same prices, not more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was,
It was epic.
it was,
I
once you
think,
got inside, it was just, the place went nuts.
yeah, I think my
When the
biggest
beast rolled
takeaway
out, it was
that.
crazy.
The one thing I wish they would have done, because I like the showmanship of it all, which I think Trump is definitely a big showman. I'm surprised that he didn't say, you know what, we're gonna build a special beast. He's got the money, so who gives a shit? Build a special beast and actually do a fucking lap as fast as he could on the track with a couple of the cars. Now
Yeah.
that would have been
That would have been
freaking
epic.
sweet.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That would have been
Listen,
sweet.
they were hauling the mail on that thing.
Were they?
They were.
Well,
Yeah, they got-
What do you think?
unfortunately-
They were going probably 70,
They got to
right?
stick to that speed because he went on the banks.
Yeah, so you got to stick
So
to a
they gotta
certain
stick-
speed,
yeah.
or else the car's gonna
Yeah,
fly
they'll
off.
slide off.
Yeah,
So I mean, they were up there in speed.
probably 100 miles an hour.
You know,
easily.
pretty close to it, and then it just leveled out.
Yeah.
But it was
epic.
Was he in the car?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You could see him waving.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty
You think
fantastic.
he jumped the Secret Service driver and tried to take the wheel?
Oh my God. What kind of bullshit that was, huh? Yeah.
Well,
Mitch
Like he's gonna fit in that little tiny window,
Yeah.
right? Come on.
they had snipers
Okay, Nancy.
perched up on top of the spotter towers.
Remember that I pointed that out?
Yeah,
I
front
had
and
it
back.
up.
Snipers all around.
Well, you can see it was the suppressors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Did that? I don't know if they were able to do it. I didn't watch the race. I don't watch NASCAR anymore. I just, unfortunately, it's become a freight train of a racetrack and no longer.
Actually,
it's a lot-
the race was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, not,
You missed
not
out.
from what people said, but anyways, I think you're more into the trenches than I am. I think you're involved in a lot more of the pomp and circumstance than somebody watching on TV. There's two, having been on the infield to watch a race and having watched sitting at home. No matter how boring the race is, it's pretty exciting on the infield. So
It
you
is.
have a different vantage point than probably most people watching at home. If you ask 90% of the viewers that watched at home, they tuned out the race because it was pretty boring. It was.
Well, I think the rain delay killed a lot of
That
it,
hurts.
too, right?
The rain delay is always.
You know, 7 laps in, right? What do we do?
Yeah,
7
Seven-
laps?
about 7
seven
8 laps, and then the rain came. We were waiting it out for a couple hours.
With a bunch of Michael Waltrip brewing beers, Talladega Lights,
So
Bristol
speaking of
Sunshine.
that, you posted a couple of times, and
Yeah.
my wife actually wants to have some of that.
TC Liquid Gold.
The sunshine one.
Yeah.
Sunshine
Yeah.
Ale.
Yeah, so,
how good is that?
That's very good.
They are.
You know, you would have thought no one would
Oh,
do a podcast
delicious.
about Daytona that Jeremy, who's heavily involved with Michael Waltrip, would have brought some beers for us to have here
Well-
today, but obviously not.
On the
Well,
whole show we'll have.
Yeah, we'll do some MWBs.
Oh, are you saying you don't want to come back, Ping?
I think so.
The flying pierogi,
Yeah.
you're back in the house?
Yes, indeed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll do it.
Pink's rocking the Folgers retro hat.
That's it.
Tim
Tim
Richmond.
Richmond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't Gerald Waltrip a Folgers driver?
No.
No.
Neil Bonnet was.
Neil Bonnet.
I'm thinking Neil Bonnet. With
Ken
Buick.
Schrader.
Is that Buick?
And the Buick.
No,
Yeah.
Chevrolet.
Chevrolet.
Dude, you're freaking dogging here.
He's like a
Sorry.
master of all the knowledge.
Useless knowledge, yeah.
Useless knowledge.
Lot going on
You
there.
know, you can tell he's a politician.
Yeah,
That's what
there
it
you
is.
go.
There you go.
Vote
Call it
for
what
me.
you will.
Vote
But I am up for re-election this year.
So the overall, you think that you think that something like this helps the event, hurts the event, helps the president, doesn't help the president? What's your thought after having seen it all and hearing the fallout? Because a lot of people complain how much it costs.
Go ahead,
to do that. And what's your thought?
I think, with Donald coming in there,
Don.
it says something. You know,
I love it. I think it's
it
great.
was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I agree.
Does it hurt the sport? No, I think it adds to it. I think you get the keyboard warriors are
They're-
the
they're hot.
the money spent. The money spent. Well, I mean,
Where were they screaming the money spent when Sleepy Joe was on the beach every freaking weekend?
right?
Yeah, they
You
weren't.
know, I
Yeah.
commend Donald for playing around the golf yesterday. I wish I could play golf yesterday.
I know, right?
You know,
We had some-
should play golf.
We had some good times on the golf course.
Absolutely.
Listen,
One of the best is up in
nighttime
Concord.
doesn't count.
No. Listen, we hit the golf courses when we go to the racetracks.
We
We
try.
try to get there.
Gotta have a day to ourselves.
That
Yeah.
always gets away though.
Yeah, it does.
But I'll tell you, I think, going back to your question,
This
Jay,
coffee's good, but
it is. I'll tell you,
Is it Folgers?
no,
No.
it's
Chris,
it's my own brew.
brew.
Made it myself.
very good.
I was the barista for you guys.
I know.
Yes, very good, very good.
I saw it.
like it. Thank you.
Yep.
Well, Jeremy always compliments me on
I
my
do.
coffee. Actually.
Yeah, man.
It's very good.
Yeah,
man.
man. Yeah, man.
If you're out there, man. Yeah, man.
What's up?
So
He was here yesterday.
he was. So yeah. So I think going back to your question, though, right? Does
Yeah.
Donald Trump help or hurt the sport? I think.
Or any sport for that matter. Look at what
No, I
happened
think
with the Super Bowl.
I think he brings notoriety and fame there, right? And
Absolutely.
people want to see their president be active, right? They don't want to
I
see him
agree with- I
hiding in
agree
the
with that.
basement. We go into
Sleeping on the
politics.
beach.
Yeah, we go into politics quite often, right? And
Us?
I never first time, right? But I think I think he elevates the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I-
thank you. I didn't realize you were going to compliment me there.
President Trump.
Oh,
So it's but that's what happened. So it was surreal, right? To see him come in, his family's there. You know, he brings
well, his
Carolina
granddaughter was
out.
cute. What a
Yes,
cute
indeed.
little.
You know,
Absolutely.
and people are like, "Oh, he staged that." No, he didn't. Come on. I mean, you know, it's his granddaughter. Like now we're gonna start picking on
Well, she was wearing a rainbow dress.
3-year-old. You know,
I'm sure people were.
Come on.
I know people were picking that. Oh,
they were picking on her red shoes, saying she's satanic and all this stuff.
Oh my!
I saw that. I'm like, come on. I go, you know,
Let it
here's
go.
the deal.
Let it go, people. Let it
How
go.
about the first 3 weeks? The first 3 weeks of this administration.
No, we're not talking politics today.
No, we're going to get into it for a minute. 3 weeks of that, right? Look what's been done.
Oh, listen, I agree with you 100%.
And you're going to go into this bullshit, right? Of picking on his granddaughter, his son. How about Barron right now?
Stud.
But did you see the administrator for the school that he's attending stated that he's awkward and weird and all this stuff, right? Well, she's been fired, so just so you know.
Well, you know, I can remember again politics for a little bit.
Yep, go get into it.
How the daughters were always off. The family was always off limits. I mean, Chelsea Clinton was the most ugly kid you ever seen in your life, and yet the media would have loved to rip her apart, but it was off limits.
Right.
I mean, the Clinton, you know why the Clintons took Chelsea everywhere they went, right? Would you want to have to kiss her goodbye? Ugh. So, you know,
Right there.
and look at the Bush girls. I mean, the
Yeah.
one was a raging party girl and everything else, but it was.
But-
the media
right.
knew it was off limits.
Yep.
Now, I mean, even the Michelle and the Obama girls were relatively
Big
off
Mike.
limits, but. Where has all that decorum gone? You don't pick on family. I mean, come on.
Well, to Dave's point earlier, right? Keyboard warriors. It's easy to sit behind a keyboard and punch out insults and all this stuff. And Mike Tyson said it the best.
Come say it to my face.
Yeah, punch you in the jaw,
Yeah,
right? And we don't condone violence on this show.
sometimes.
All right.
Or at the racetrack.
Yeah. USA and Canada. What do you think of that?
Oh, I can't wait tonight. Go USA.
Wow.
And I know Canada's my home country,
I'll
but
tell you, Jay,
you know
right?
what?
That'll
I'm
be a good
sorry.
one.
You
That'll be a good
booing
one.
bastards. Hope you lose. Yeah. You know, it's one thing. It's one thing to have an issue with the government. It's just, we're not like it's not like Miracle on Ice here. It's not the USSR versus
Right.
the United States. It's two pretty mirror imaged countries, except one's the spouse and one's the husband and one's the wife. So Canada being the wife all the freaking time, and
How's
the
that
husband's
go?
always there
Jane?
defending them. But the fact of the matter is the fact that the fans are going to boo the players. I just
Think
have
it's
a
uncalled
big
for.
problem with that.
I do too.
I just
I do too.
and I hope that America doesn't do that tonight in Boston when the Canadian national anthem is on. I hope we show a lot more respect and class than obviously the stupid French Canadians.
It is
did there.
Boston.
Well, it is Boston, but it was also
Yeah.
Montreal, and Montreal's a bunch of dumb French people. So.
Yeah, let's circle back to the
Yeah, let's stick to NASCAR because I'm getting pretty pissed
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
'Cause
Fucking Canadians.
that was kind of the deal that Jay and I made, right? Was try to keep the politics out of it
No
today,
politics.
and the flying pierogi, first time in a pro stock for Johnny Miller Motorsports. I'll
Wait a
tell
minute,
you,
you're driving?
the
No,
big
I
operation.
I did a run one night. One of our guys was on vacation, so I hopped in a street stock.
Whoa.
Tell
what
us
was
about
that?
It's all right. It was good. After a few laps, I kind of figured out what I was doing, and still
Sounds like his first time having sex. It was
Yeah,
all
it
right.
was all
After a few
right.
thrusts, I figured out what it was.
Tried again on the second time. And I finished the race. The car wasn't wrecked. It was a
Yeah.
good night.
It was a good
Actually,
night.
that's a good night. If you
That's
didn't
a
wreck
good
the
night.
car
Yep.
being a novice
Yep.
at it.
I'll tell you, I
That's like
hadn't
not
seen
being
this
able to
guy
pop a
smile.
cherry.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen this guy smile in a long time like that.
Really? So it was good, huh?
Yeah, ear to ear.
So are you getting the itch maybe to get your own car? or-
Absolutely not.
No.
No.
No,
Nope.
do not recommend.
Nope. It's a
Maybe
money
there's a
pit.
big block around you can drive.
Not interested. Nope.
No.
I'll change the tires. That's my job.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
Well, now why? Why not?
I just don't have. I don't have the time to put into that.
Yeah.
It's
It's
hard
a-
enough to get to the shop.
It's a young kid
You know,
sport.
2 nights a week, 3 nights a week to help my driver.
Yeah. Well, I know that a mutual friend of ours, we all know, the 47 Cook car. I because my son's involved with it occasionally. It is a lot of time.
Yep.
It is.
You know, you raced on Friday, but then there's cleanup, then there's
Right.
dismantling, and
Yep.
then there's tuning,
P&M.
setting it back up,
Yeah.
and loading back up, and then
Fixing the
it's like
damage.
it's almost like running a restaurant. I can tell you, because if you're not cooking, you're washing. You're not washing. You're prepping. You're not prepping. You're cooking.
Yeah.
Same thing with a race car. It's never stops.
Well, I can tell you firsthand, right? So do the business management for MHR, and I do it for my son, right? For the dirt modified, and it's every day. Every day there's something, right? There's a job for everybody, and you want to be successful, you got to put the money in, you got to put the time in, and
Time being probably the biggest one.
time is right.
Time is huge.
You don't get that back. You don't get that back. And
I try to explain to my kids actually that the one thing in life, money, yes, it's one of those things you can never have enough of, but you can always make more.
right.
Time
Well, you do it on your OnlyFans.
Time
right?
is all the time.
Sorry.
My feet are all over the place. Time is something that you can't get back, you can't replace,
Right.
and you can't recover. And I've always said if somebody's willing to spend time with me, it's an honor for me because time you can't replace.
That's right.
So money,
No, time is
who
a
cares? You work
valuable.
harder, you make more.
Yep.
Time's a valuable commodity, right?
Yep.
And I think to that point it's overlooked quite often. But racing, man, it's a lifestyle, and if you're not in, you got to be in 100%. You're 100% in, you're going to do well.
So you figure the amount of time that you have to put in on your small team, relatively small team that you have. Could you imagine the kind of time these guys in the NASCAR series, the amount of work and people involved just in fielding a car every single week, not only the same track, but across the whole entire country.
Well, now
The-
internationally, they're going to
yeah.
Mexico City.
Well, they've done that. They've done that for a while.
No.
Because back in the heyday they were running in Japan.
Well, that was only
it
the
was-
one-off
oh,
show. This
yeah,
is
like
actually
a-
a points-paying show.
Right.
Oh, this would be
A
a
standalone race, yeah.
really because they also did run in Canada for a while. They ran at
They're going back to Canada.
The entire motorsports.
Yeah, where are they going to?
Um,
They're going to Canadian Motorsports Park this year.
That's, I think,
The
Canadian.
entire
But it's
motorsport.
Xfinity and trucks.
That's what it was before COVID.
Because I think our car is going to be at the shop.
I think Xfinity also ran in Montreal, in a
Oh, a
road
few years
course.
ago.
Road course, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
At the, what is it, Circuit?
Villeneuve.
Yep.
That's where he died, actually.
Oh.
Or, I mean, he was named after the fact that he was a pretty
he
famous
was
driver.
F1,
And
right?
he died in a wreck
F1.
back
Yep.
in the 80s. I believe it was the 80s.
But you talk about that, right? The time and stuff. And this is why when you look at big organizations like Hendrick Motorsports, the road crew and they have the shop crews. Okay. So the shop crews prepare the car from Monday to Friday.
If not more than one.
All right.
Right.
No, they're all split. Well, they're split and they're, so you work for the 24. I work for the.
No, meaning if they're not getting more than one car ready at a time for that particular
Oh,
team.
well, you're typically doing two. You're typically doing two at a rip, right? So,
Yeah, they're doing.
Yeah.
There's 40, 50 guys in the shop.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
I mean, I think what does Hendrick Motorsports employ? Almost 1,000 people,
Oh,
right?
That'd be all of
crazy.
that.
And now
Yep.
even more, considering that the Cadillac's going into F1 and they're
They're
going to
doing
be
an F1,
they're
dirty
gonna
F1.
be the
team.
F1 headquarters.
Yeah, I mean, and that F1 is, it's a lot of work, right? They're
Well, isn't Hendrick already in F1? Or am I thinking of Roger Penske?
no, the only one that was Haas.
Haas.
Haas is the only one in
Isn't
F1.
Roger Penske? Oh, no,
Roger
I'm thinking
Penske. You're thinking
Indy.
Indy and IMSA, right?
Yes.
So IMSA
You're
cars.
right. I'm sorry.
But that's another thing, right? Like Kyle Larson's running the Indy 500 again this year, right? So they're going to prepare that car out of McLaren and Hendrick to ensure that he's got the best equipment. So, there's a lot to
You know
it.
what though?
The business side of things
I
is
think
crazy.
you could give Larson a soapbox derby, and he would have that thing competitive in any freaking
Oh,
place.
sure.
That man
my
is.
God.
Sure.
That
Absolutely.
kid can wheel anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
He can.
He's like a modern day Tony Stewart.
Yep. Give him a.
I think he's better.
Put the dump
Oh
truck
no,
in
I'm
the
just
tree
saying.
Oh, my God,
At
yeah,
the
I-
time, Tony Stewart he could run anything. He ran dirt. He ran Indy. He ran NASCAR.
Yeah.
and
He
Larson-
was.
I see Casey Kane's coming back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Casey's running the Xfinity.
Mark Martin ran.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's crazy.
A lot of the old timers are coming back. They're getting itchy for the sport. Either that or they're trying to bring back some of the old guard that used to watch all the time. And
No, I think you know what I think it is, Jay. I think a lot of it is the success levels too, right? They want to be part of it. NASCAR, everybody's like, "Oh, NASCAR's dying." I'll tell you one thing. I don't see it. I don't see it dying. I mean, we're seeing.
No.
I mean, Ping. We go to what?
It was
10, 15 races a year, and there's a ton of people at these races. The
Well,
infields are cranking.
I think I think popularity is two levels of that. I think they have successful events, but the viewership is not there. So they have to figure out what to do for viewership and retention.
Well, I
Because-
can get the numbers exact, what the viewerships were. They come out, I think, tomorrow. So maybe we can get that out. I'll put it in the chat or whatever. But the viewerships are up significantly from 2 years ago. So, when you looked at this is why they just did a new TV deal with the CW and all that as well for Xfinity. And they're really starting to go out on different platforms. Amazon now is involved. So
Amazon's involved in hockey as well. There's
So you're
a lot
gonna-
of certain games. And
So you're going to see. I think you're going to see that accelerate the growth of the sport. I do think, and I'll say this, and I do think that the administration right now needs to look at the history. I think it's becoming too F1ish. I think NASCAR is.
they need to go back to their roots a little bit.
I think so.
I run what you brung almost type of thing.
I mean, you gotta have
you know,
some standards, right?
Yeah, but this idea, here's what always here's what I lost. How NASCAR
How's
lost.
that coffee, Dave?
Delicious.
Yeah, good, right? Let's try G's Kellicorn's even better. Tell me.
Saturday at the
So,
mall.
that's right.
Yeah.
Right. You gonna stop by and say hello?
Is this segment
Fancy
sponsored?
booth.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, no, that was an AI generated booth. Everybody's
Okay.
like, "Oh my God, look at that booth!" I'm like, "Can people not realize it's an AI generated booth?" But
Yeah,
it's an
think
You just let
AI.
out the
Good,
secret.
It's an AI generated booth,
It works.
so it's not my.
Well, I mean, we're
I have,
sitting,
I have a nice little tablecloth
look at
on my table.
we're sitting in Daytona right now.
That's right. That's right. It's hot. I'm actually hot. I'm ready to take my freaking hoodie off because this
Whoa.
sun is really beating down on us.
90 degrees.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, it was nice.
Although you know what's weird is that I mean we're in Florida and he was sitting at the studio and
Yeah.
it was like seamless.
I'll tell you, it's awesome. I'll tell you, it's great. Ooh.
Florida, New York.
I don't know what to do
Florida,
with my
New
hands.
York. Florida, New
Look
York.
at this. In New York. I'm in New
My
York.
screen. Stop touching me.
But I lost my train of thought. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, derailed.
We got to
Totally derailed. Holy
You know,
shit.
Yeah, man.
Roger Penske's birthday's today. Happy
Yep, happy
Roger.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Roger Penske.
Absolutely, happy birthday.
Yep.
God, where was I going with this? Shit.
Out the door.
Totally.
Coffee's good.
Yeah.
The coffee's
Thanks
good.
a lot. That's what derailed me. Your coffee comment. And then I had to say, "Geez, kettle corn." You brought up the booth and
Yeah,
This segment is sponsored by
cheese
Geez,
kettle
kettle
corn.
Cheese kettle corn.
Cheese kettle corn.
Oh, get
So-
you some.
Yeah.
So Jeremy, tell us about our driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wow. Yeah. So
New driver.
We got a
So-
new driver.
yeah. So
We were just commenting about this ahead of time because I was a little taken aback by him, but I didn't realize how young he was and his story, which is pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
yeah.
So
So
do tell.
So I will, yeah. So Carson Ware, for those who don't know, was piloting the 74. He'll actually be piloting the 74 in Atlanta and beyond.
For HR, for
MHR.
MHR.
Yep. And Carson has hiccups right in life, and he's got his
I
bearings.
like
about him.
redemption stories.
This kid is, man. He's a solid kid. I don't think, Dave, that we've ever been thanked more by a driver.
No.
Would you agree?
Polite, down to earth. I mean, his brother, they were a good family. Good family.
Yeah,
It's probably a good
he's
fit
solid.
like them.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what it is, right? And his dad, Rick Ware, the owner of Rick Ware Racing, he's involved as well. With every aspect of what Carson does. So that's a successful organization. Rick Ware has not only Cup cars, they have NHRA dragsters. They are in the AMA dirt bike, right? Is that what it is?
We should try to get Mike Harmon on here.
Oh, we can get Mike on. Yeah, absolutely. We'll get Mike on. We
Zoom,
get Carson on.
Zoom, talk about stuff. That'd be fun.
Yep. But I'll tell you, it's been Carson's a success story, right? When you look at where he is, where he was and where he is today, night and day. And
He turned it
people
around.
say, oh, he's got tattoos on his face and stuff. And I go, look past that. I go, look at the people with tattoos these days, right?
Why you look at me?
No, I'm looking at you because you're right there. I can see you on the screen, but you're right there. But no, I mean,
Aimed that at me, it's like Jesus.
oh, now we're
Tiny,
Sensitive.
Ticonderoga figure in New York.
He's all
Tattoo
little.
that says tiny, but
Yeah.
Ticonderoga figure in New York.
And this is why we get off track.
On my brain.
So no, we so I mean, people. I'll be honest with you, right? So throughout the week,
'Cause I really
Shout
wish
out to
you
Brady
don't mind
Hauser.
them.
Shout out to
Yes,
Brady Hauser, right,
absolutely.
Dave?
Awesome photos.
Amazing
Brady
The
photos.
ones you sent me. Yeah, those
Yeah,
are
Brady
awesome.
Brady Hauser did a fantastic job
Fantastic.
shooting all weekend for us. I know he was working with Matt Crafton in that group as well, so he did a really good job. And shout out to him for all the hard work. But he really documented the story, right? We get to Daytona. We go through NASCAR Tech. They find a few things with the car that they didn't like, which seems to be more often than not lately.
Oh, that's why we're going with that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So the seat in the car, they didn't like the way it was mounted. So here we are at the track, literally fabricating mounts for a seat. We had to go to the director of NASCAR to get approval to do that. He waved the wand. We were good to go. So we went through. We failed tech once. We went through minor stuff. It's safety stuff, right? So they will fail you. And then we go back through, and we were 5 pounds light. Yep, 5 pounds light. So we had to go back to the garage, add weight. So you can't work at that station. You have to go back through all the stations.
Oh yeah.
You're just building the reason why I don't like NASCAR.
Well,
And
it's
you
part
go
of it,
back
though.
around again through stage 1, stage 2.
But that's in any
stage 3.
form of racing, though. It really
Well,
is.
No, I beg to differ because I look back at the heyday of NASCAR when we used to love NASCAR. There wasn't half of that stuff. The
Oh
cars-
no, there
Well,
was.
you don't see that.
You don't see it.
Well, let me tell you,
You won't see it.
it was very much manufacturer driven. You could tell what vehicle was on the track from far away because it looked like a Buick or it looked like a Chevy or it looked like a Ford or it looked like a Dodge. Today they're all the same cars with different nose clips.
Right.
But does a Toyota run a rear-wheel drive V8 car? No.
Nope.
I have a big problem with that, and I think that's the reason why a lot of people are disenfranchised with NASCAR. They seem to etch a sketch a rule book just to appease Toyota, and I have a problem with that. I remember the year that the new Camaro came out, and it was dominating. Toyota had a big fit about it. They rewrote the rule book, and the Camaro had a hard time competing. Toyota did great
So they had an
I have a big problem.
huge aero advantage that Camaro did when it came out.
because they built a good design.
Right.
And
Don't punish the manufacturer.
Right.
yeah, I agree to that to a certain extent, right?
And if you're Ford or if you're Chevy, here you have your two pony cars,
Yep.
and you're racing against a sedan.
Well, let's look at it now.
If I was Chevy, I would have
Chevy-
said I ain't racing.
Well,
If I was
Chevy doesn't
Ford,
even have a car right now.
Well,
They
yeah, because the
discontinued the
Camaro,
Camaro.
they have 2
Camaro
years to
discontinued.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a Cadillac CTS next year. That's what you're going to see on track.
Yeah.
So-
but Dodge is coming back,
Well, in the truck series.
In the truck.
and then the following year they'll be in the Cup.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be racing. Cup.
Stellantis
Yep.
going to be racing.
Yep.
I'd be surprised.
And
I want to see that happen first.
I think there's going to be a couple other manufacturers coming in too. I think you're going to see Honda
think-
in.
So there goes your North American Stock Car Association.
The Hyundai 500.
Honda's made right in Ohio.
It's not an American company.
Neither is Toyota.
I agree. Listen, going back to what I said.
Well, actually, neither is Dodge, right?
Well, now it's not.
German.
Well,
Is it German owned?
Stellantis is owned by the Dutch.
The Deutsch.
The Dutch.
Deutsch. So
Massive conglomerates. Actually, Stellantis is a combination of
a bunch of
the
different
Italians
manufacturers, right?
and the French.
Okay.
Peugeot
As a
was
wee
part
bit.
of it too.
Peugeot.
Peugeot.
Yeah. So going back to what we did here, we were 5 pounds light. We go through. We put our lead in, and I'll tell you, the boys kicked ass, and Dave was a big part of that too. So I can't thank him enough for what he did over the weekend, right? Because I don't think people understand that there's a time crunch to get through tech. Practice had started at that point, so we actually did good. We were only about 20 minutes behind, by the way. Because
We hustled.
I was keeping track on that, and there's a lot of running.
Oh yeah.
I had to run and go get a fire bottle. I hadn't run over a mile in quite some time, but I did keep pace. Brady Hauser does have photo evidence of that.
So you've seen both sides of the wall. So you were well. I asked Dave
No, go
just
ahead.
because we and I have had these conversations. So you were behind the wall for a long time. Now you're on the driver's side of the wall. I'll tell you what surprised me the most, and I'm curious if it was your the same impression. So when you look from the stands, you're like, wow, look at all that equipment, polished, clean. You look from this side of the wall, you realize it's all duct tape, zip ties, and bubble gum holding these cars together. I was shocked on how much, just slap it together to get the car on that track, and it's like one side's polished, one side's all destroyed. It was unbelievable how much the chaos and the fabricating and the duct tape goes into putting these cars together.
Zip ties.
And yet from
Zip ties
the
are friends.
camera angle, you're like, wow, look at that car. It must have thousands of dollars in just a paint
Camera
job.
makes things look a
Yes.
little difference.
But
It's-
only seeing that side
Right.
of it, when you see the back side of it, you're like, friggin', hey, that's complicated shit. And
the biggest thing is the prep that goes into it. This started, months ago to go to Daytona. And the team, we had a guy down in Denver, North Carolina, working on the car, getting an engine put in it, getting a transmission, rear end. There's a lot of backstage prep that you don't see.
Yeah.
And when you get 3 guys working on a car, it takes a long time to get it right.
Yep.
how did Matt Carman do anything? How did you guys do?
Rain.
Rain got us.
Rain.
Yep.
Fucking rain.
Yep.
That rain has been our nemesis for the past 2 years. It has. And, I got to tell you, so I'm going to go back to Carson Ware on that, right, with the rain. One of the most positive individuals that I have ever come across. And, I think he, with his journey and where he is today, and we'll get him on to talk about
That'd be fun.
about
I like
that.
redemption stories.
And to get him, Dave, he did everything in his power. We did get out on track for qualifying, so we did practice the car, and actually the car was fast. I was proud of the whole gang. The guys they kicked some ass. They got that car on track, and you built a seat mount. On the ground, welded, built this thing, cut in steel, running out to go get steel.
What was wrong with the mount that was there
4 inches too short.
for him?
No,
Well,
for NASCAR spec allegedly.
Did the specs just suddenly change?
They change week to week, it seems, and I can't.
To me, that gives,
we can't.
that gives an advantage to a bigger team that can have multiple things on hand.
Yeah, we can't. We can't get too far into the weeds on that. Just because of where we stand. But it was done.
We had a crew guy that they welded it up.
Kevin
made
Cram.
it. Kevin did a great job.
Amazing.
Noah did a great job. These guys they're good. They're the heart of the team.
Week in and week out.
They're the guys that do it. Jeremy and I are the weekend warriors.
Yeah.
We show up, on a Thursday or a Friday.
Ryan Vargas is texting me right now.
And then
Just tell them to tune in.
tell him hop on. He's our spotter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ryan has actually driven for us too before. Ryan has gotten a car in many races for us over the past year, and he goes fun.
Tell them to log on to TGM Studios on YouTube. They'll see us. We're live.
So Ryan has put the car on multiple times, put the car in the show multiple times, and he works hard. He works hard to go out and get sponsors. I mean, to go out and get sponsors is a full-time job. People go, "Oh, Jerry, you go out and get sponsors." I say, "Yeah, I make it look easy," but Dave will tell you, am I on the phone all the time?
It's constant.
It's stupid. It is.
It's constant.
We're fortunate enough to have you as a sponsor on our son's car, right?
I was on Mike Harmon's car.
And you were on Mike Harmon's car in 2021, right?
Yeah, at Loudon and Watkins.
Loudon and Watkins Glen. So we're proud. We're proud to have partners like yourself. Small businesses helping out a small business, right? A small race team, and it is a business, right? And people say, "Oh, what's my ROI on that?" or whatever. So I look at it and I say, "Well," I said, "What do you want? What do you want for ROI? Dictate to us what you want." Right? As a smaller team, we can do that. We can help out. He keeps texting me.
He wants you.
We can't get him on, can we?
I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
If we had my producer here, we could.
Yeah.
We could have zoomed him in. That would have been fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but he could jump in and we could chat, live chat,
Yep.
which kind of be fun.
So yeah, the sponsorship game is tough, right? It's very, very tough. It's a dog eat dog. For instance, we had a sponsor in Bristol. I think Dave, that was your first race with us down there, and I'm sitting there literally talking to the owner of the company, and a large Xfinity team who may have had their first Cup start this weekend
I know you're talking about.
came in and grabbed us up, grabbed our sponsor up right there.
That sucks.
It was not fun,
Mhm.
and I couldn't do nothing about it. Um, and looking back on it now, they're completely out of the sport. They're not involved now, because our sponsorship to get on our car is significantly lower than a we'll say a Junior Motorsports car, Hendrick car, something to that effect. Because to get on their car, you're going to bring minimum $50,000 for an inch by 2 to 4 inches on their car. So when you see these big logoed vehicles, say, we'll say what? Jared
Something whiskey?
Transportation, Travelers Whiskey, something like that.
It's millions,
Multi-millions
millions of dollars.
of dollars to get that on there.
Yeah.
Where with our team, if somebody came in with that type of money, our program would elevate, to a top tier team, just because of the ability that we have to
And the problem
have
is
resources.
the sport is having a harder and harder time acquiring these multi-year full car sponsorships
Right.
like you used to see,
Right.
like the Lowe's and the Home Depots, and now they're breaking up those years or breaking up the certain races with other full sponsors.
Yeah, you're not going to see a GM Goodwrench,
Yeah.
right? Or a Wrangler, or we'll say Home Depot, for instance, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
For,
these
for,
were- these
for
were-
multi-year
for
full
multi-year.
car.
Yeah.
Now they break them up a couple quarters.
even
half the
even
year.
Interstate Batteries, right?
Yeah.
They've been with the Gibbs group there for many years. Of I think 25 years or
They're just
something
doing
like that.
selective races.
Now they're doing selective races.
Yeah.
They were split with DeWalt on for Daytona. So it's
Too much money.
It's
A lot of money.
it's a lot, right? Now,
a lot
but
of money.
but I'll tell you, I think the system's broke, and I mean that because I think the fact of the matter is that the cost to run these cars, the cost to bring your crews to the track, I mean, I know our spends, our spends for a weekend are 15 to 25,000 just for team stuff, right? To get them to the track, our transportation costs, things like that. So
Well, wasn't NASCAR trying to limit that by how many crew members you could have at one time?
they are,
And that sort of to try
Yeah,
to
but I'll tell you, it
cut down
doesn't.
those costs.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, we're driving out of the track, and some of these teams are flying out in their Lears or their,
Yeah.
their embroiders going out the.
I have to say, and that's another part that I detest about NASCAR, is I feel like there's such a disconnect from the rank and file fan to the drivers today. I look at when you and I were not talking Xfinity teams, because Xfinity are a lot more accessible, but you look at the NASCAR teams. When I was big into the sport, I can remember being at my site at Watkins Glen and Ricky Rudd and Jimmy Spencer hopping off their golf cart, coming and sit on my couch,
Yep.
like we're doing here.
Yep.
You would never see it.
That was Jay's casting couch.
Whatever, they were on it. But you would never see a driver do that today. Maybe one or two tops.
But I'll tell you, I think a lot of the younger drivers are doing that.
Yeah,
we're
they're
seeing
more-
that. We
they're
are
more
seeing that.
personable.
Yep.
Because I can remember when we were doing autographs, it was kind of funny. My wife, if anybody knows my wife, she's a firecracker, and we were in front of we were at Dale Jarrett's signing. So I'm dating myself now, and we're at Watkins Glen and signing autographs. So we walked over to Dale Jr.'s booth looking for an autograph, and oh no, he doesn't sign autographs. He doesn't do this.
Hey, shout out to Ryan Vargas. He's watching live right now.
What's up, Ryan? How are you?
Vargas, what's up,
going on?
buddy?
So it was always, I look at when Daryl Waltrip, Michael Waltrip came here in Waterford when the Napa was here.
Yeah.
I can remember sitting in Corning, and there was a line of 500 people waiting to get Dale Earnhardt's autograph.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how accessible these people were. And they made themselves accessible to their fans because they remember what it was like to mortgage their garage for a set of tires for a race. I find the drivers today have lost that connection to the fans.
It's become corporate,
Could have
right?
gone, maybe, like you said, it may be becoming
But I
full
see it.
circle, but I think that's what's missing in that sport.
Yeah, I see it.
Some point.
I see it coming back around a little bit, right?
You do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe because money's leaving the sport a little bit, so they have to do that connection.
I think it's coming back in. Money's coming back in.
Richard Petty and Kyle were signing autographs on Saturday, Sunday. I don't even know what day it was.
Kyle.
There was Kyle Petty.
Like I said,
And
the two guys.
The two.
Okay. The veterans of the sport.
Right. I mean, there was
You're an old guy.
300-400 people in
I'm
line.
old. Yeah.
And then, you know,
And the king, by the way, the king loves popcorn.
the King does.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
G's popcorn.
I bet you would love it.
This segment.
You would.
Brought to you by G's Kilcorn.
That's it. Stop over, see us Saturday at Clifton Country Mall.
No, Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday is at Clifton Country Mall.
Sunday.
Saturday we're going to be at Colony Center.
Colony,
Oh,
Colony Center. Yes.
Fire doing the mall tour,
Doing
huh?
the mall tour.
Wow.
I'll be wearing my fancy outfit.
Yeah, I
Just
can't
for you.
wait.
Just for you.
Are you gonna pop your corn?
The
Hey!
popcorn suit.
The popcorn suit.
I gotta get one of those. That'd be funny.
He'd be chasing you around with a flamethrower.
Stop popping me. This is getting way off topic here. Move along. Move along.
Next question.
Yeah. So I think Dave hit a couple of good points, right? With the garage and how hard it is, right? It's a grind. Probably one of the hardest grinds that I've ever been a part of. Dave, what do you think?
I mean, we get to the track on a Friday morning, we unload, we start prepping the car. And then, it's a waiting game. We're waiting till our time to go through tech.
You can't just go through tech,
No, you
too.
have to wait.
They call you.
Yeah.
So
Hurry up and wait. Like the Marines. Hurry up and wait.
Sit and wait.
And if you're not ready,
That's it. You
They'll
gotta.
buy you.
Yep. When you go through tech and you're just thinking, God, please let this car pass. I don't want to get my butt chewed out again today. And I appreciate what NASCAR does. The tech inspectors, it's the safety of our driver. They don't want that car on the track if it's got a safety infraction in it.
No, I get it.
So I get it. I understand that. I don't want to see my driver, get hurt. I don't want to see my dirt driver get hurt. So the safety precautions are there.
I just feel that a lot of times in the quest for being as safe as possible, which I understand that there's a fine line, but one, you take a certain aspect of the sport out of it because part of the sport is dangerous.
Right.
And secondly, you start creating cookie cutter cars because everything's got to match.
Right. Yeah.
This is where I think a lot of times the uniqueness of NASCAR, not racing, NASCAR is gone because every car is the same now. Whereas at one time, and again, the heyday of NASCAR, 50 years, their 50th anniversary, the big one where I think it was at NASCAR's apogee where, I mean, every car, you've raced on Sunday, you sold on Monday. That was the adage. So
that was the adage, for many years.
And today that's gone because they're all running 4.9-inch rear ends. They're all running Dana transmissions. You know what I mean? And I think that was the allure of NASCAR. You had brand rivalries. You had fans would tattoo bow ties on their arms and make fun of the Chevy guy.
You still see that.
I know that, but
there.
it's not
But
the
not
way
like
it used to be.
No, not
and
at all.
I think NASCAR. I think that I don't know if they're trying to. I don't know if the France family's all into that, but I think that for it to progress much further than I feel it has reached now, I think it's got to come back to that root of it where you need the brand rivalry. Maybe part of it is bringing in other brands.
So let me stop you there for a second. I think if we look at it from the point of view of society, Americana built on cars, built on speed, right? Built on sportsmen and whatnot, right? So we collectively, I think, have broken that down, right? There is no brand loyalty for anything anymore, really. If you look at it,
Agreed.
right? So, where I come from, I'm a Chevy guy, right? You're a Chevy guy.
Mm-hmm.
I know Dave is, right? But I also know people who are Ford brand loyal, right? And that's all they buy. but they're our age group.
I was
Okay,
gonna say, how old are they?
So
How old are they?
you know, I'll look at my kids. Well, my daughter's got a Jeep, so I'll just leave that there. She's like a Jeep, Jeepaholic.
Does she have the ducks on the
Dog. Oh god. I go. How can you defrost your goddamn window? But anyways.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, right, I think there's a generational gap there, right? A societal change that doesn't promulgate that brand loyalty. That doesn't. Nobody cares, right? Type thing. They care about a number now. I see that more and more, right? It's the number that's followed more than the brand itself. In my opinion,
Possibly.
What we see.
Yeah.
But I think that's a component of it. I don't think NASCAR's got a silver bullet to fix all the woes. But I think part of it is that. I think the other part is the cost aspect. I mean, to go to race, it's really, really expensive. Look at when we started going to Watkins
Oh my
Glen.
God, yes.
It was $150 for a
Right.
site. Now it's $600 for a
Right.
site.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's not like you're getting more. You're actually getting less because
You
there's
get
more
nothing.
rules. And
Well, now
there's
they're
more,
shutting you down.
yeah, you know what I mean? I remember when I used to go to
Oh, my
Watkins Glen
God.
20, 30 years ago. I think you used to go
Sure,
there
I
back
used to go
then.
there back
It
then.
used to be the Nam.
Yep.
It was like
chaos.
Beirut. It
$30
was-
to get in.
Yeah,
for the
and you
weekend.
defended your campsite. There were
Yep.
fires, explosions, and people
Yep.
walked the track and threw beer bottles at you. Not that was right, but it shows that you were able to go there as a family if you want to get into the ruckus of it. For
Yeah.
for
Go to
$30.
an asshole alley for a weekend.
Yes.
you
Yeah,
know?
right.
Now there is no asshole alley.
No, that's
It's
gone.
all $600 a campsite, and
Right.
on top of that, you still have your $150
It's a
weekend
money
pass.
grab.
Oh yeah.
It's a
So
money grab.
I think all these little things are compiling where the sport, I think, has reached a certain plateau that they have to figure out ways to change what they're doing to get.
So
more
you know what's
in.
you bring that up, right? And it's funny you say that. So Dave and I get to travel around to many tracks like you have as well, right? But we're seeing it where it's becoming more of I say a weekend draw now. With the concerts are getting bigger.
Yeah.
There's more outside of the track stuff to do.
Well, that's what I mean. So what's happening
So-
is they're becoming events. It doesn't help viewership.
Right.
It doesn't help viewership at all.
But I'll tell you, I can tell you the viewership is up because I just got a text on that. Somebody
If
texted-
viewership
yep.
was up, it would be on network television, and it's not.
Well, I'm telling you,
Baseball
what they're
games are
showing.
on network TV, not on.
But they're not. They're moving to streaming platforms now too. It's getting crazy. I hate streaming,
Yeah.
by the way. Although I know we're streaming right now.
Yeah.
I do. It frustrates me.
Well, look at to your point.
Yeah.
Look at the game tonight. All right.
Yeah. What is that?
So
on
the
Canada?
first game between Canada and the United States, which was last Saturday, was on ABC.
Right.
Tonight, unless you have ESPN, you can't watch it.
Right.
How stupid
And it
is
depends
that?
on what's-
And this is like probably the biggest hockey game of the last probably 10
Yeah.
years.
Yep.
Canada versus plus not to mention the political rivalry going on
Well,
right
yeah.
now, and just the nature of the political environment. It's a big game.
Yep.
Why
Right.
would you have that on ESPN?
It's insane.
It should be on network TV so everybody can watch it.
But I think the networks are shutting themselves down too, right?
They're making themselves
they are.
irrelevant.
They
They're
really
busy
are.
broadcasting the view.
Bullshit.
The
Yeah.
view.
Yeah. Your girl Whoopi.
Yeah. Imagine that. Never mind.
All right.
Hey.
Oh boy, that was going down a path, folks. So back to Daytona.
I'm glad I could refrain
You
myself.
know, so if you're a first timer, you're looking to go down to Daytona. Dave, what do you think? What's
Do
some
it.
good stuff to do?
Restaurants.
Oh man, we ate, didn't we?
It's
How about
Flo-
Tiano's?
it's-
Oh my God,
It's
Tiana's is
Florida.
amazing.
I mean,
a good time.
everything
Yeah.
is great in
You know,
Florida.
Yeah,
The
the
weather was
governor.
Great. The governor.
I'm just saying
the
things
state,
to do. Things
state,
to do.
You know?
You know, I can tell you, I talked about it on the last podcast. My first time at Daytona. I had never been to a super speedway, so that was my first experience at a super speedway, and I described what it was like. Not to repeat myself from the other podcast, but the first time actually catching the cars come around at
Goosebumps.
full speed.
It's amazing.
Oh
Goosebumps on your
my
arms.
God! The speed these
It's
cars
amazing.
The
go.
sound.
Is it the rush of wind? The even the sound of the wind was
Yeah.
thunderous. It was incredible.
You know, the Thunderbirds practiced on Friday
Oh, my ears are still blown
Cool.
out.
right across the garage. They just buzzed them all day long. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and you don't
It's so
you don't
cool.
hear them, and all of a sudden, wham, they're over you,
Right over top of you.
and you know you're ducking down,
You
you know,
pinch, and then
pinch,
you're
yeah.
back to work again.
Yeah.
But it was just, just the feel of that, the
Yeah,
energy.
it's awesome.
I think
First
that-
race of the year.
It was.
Yeah.
Was it the 100th anniversary of the blimp this year? Because they made a comment about it being the anniversary of the Goodyear blimp, which was making its appearance at the Daytona 500.
So the
Might
blimp,
look that up.
the first day we saw the blimp was Wednesday. We were on the beach, took 2 days to kind of beach thing it, and the wife and I tooled around Daytona. So we saw the Goodyear blimp on Wednesday. We saw it again on Thursday, and then Friday was the Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
100th anniversary.
100th anniversary.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
Nice. Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw the Goodyear blimp. I was actually at a boat racing event in Valleyfield, Quebec. It was their 50th anniversary. No, 25 years. 25 years. And
You're an old fuck.
this thing was so. I had like the writing on the side, and
Yeah.
it was so cool to see.
Now it's got digital writing and
Yeah.
digital
That's
reading.
wild, right?
It was so cool to
Yeah.
see. You know, you could hear it with the turbo props
Yep,
on the side.
Zeppelin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Zeppelin type of look.
Yeah.
Do you know the Empire State Building was built specifically for airships?
Yes, that's why the spire's on there.
Yeah. Didn't know if anybody knew that.
Yeah.
Little fun fact. I love fun facts.
I know, full of fun facts.
That and $1.25 to get you a cup of coffee. Is
No,
free.
not here though.
Not here.
No, here it's
This
free.
coffee's good.
Here it's free.
It's good, but yeah. So first timers, right? So
Yeah.
at Daytona,
I mean-
a lot. I'll tell you, for me,
Plan.
Yeah, definitely got a plan. I think you got to, the beach is great, right? You can drive on the beach. at
Drive to the
Daytona.
beach. You gotta pay $30 for out of state resident. Florida residents, it's free.
Although if you go to St. Augustine, it is free.
It's free.
Everybody.
If you have a handicap pass, it's free as well.
Maybe you looked at me and thought I was handicapped.
But we stayed on the
Did you
beach,
again? See that?
so we
My
didn't have
ball.
to drive too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys stayed on the
beach,
beach, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful beach.
Yeah.
It is so nice.
Yeah.
I Ubered Dave.
What's that?
I said I Ubered you.
Yeah, I had took an Uber a couple times, and actually we took a Lyft. Lyft was cheaper than Uber.
It's funny how that is,
Yeah.
right?
So
Crazy.
It was $13 to go from our condo to the track. It was $50 to park. So
Now-
for $26
Yeah.
round trip, how can you go wrong?
Did I see that you guys went to the Turn Forward restaurant? Is that what it's called?
The North
Forward?
Turn.
North
North
Turn.
The North Turn.
The
Yeah,
North
we were at
Turn.
the North Turn.
Because Daytona used to be run on the beach.
It was, and
At
that
one
was
time.
the
That
was the
was
North Turn.
1959, 19.
Yeah. That was the North Turn of the
It's
of
still
the
there,
old
right?
beach track. Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
go visit Lighthouse down there?
No, we were close to it though. We could see
Yeah.
the light.
Oh, Ponce
Pretty
Inlet.
cool,
At
yeah.
Ponce
Yeah,
Inlet.
we're
Yeah.
very
Pretty
great.
cool lighthouse over there.
Yep. But so I think a list for a first time fan. Let's try to break that down.
I would think, place to stay
Yep.
is huge.
I would definitely,
Transportation.
if I was a first timer, I would definitely stay in Daytona by the ocean.
Yeah.
That would
There's
be
so much to do down there.
Yeah, because there's a cool little boardwalk.
Yeah.
There's,
Yep. Riley's
there's a lot of
Coney.
shops.
Riley's
there.
Coney House is down
Yeah,
there.
big
Yeah.
shout out to Dave at Riley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loiter.
What's that bar that's over there that has a NASCAR on the car on the outside?
Cruising.
Cruising. That's a pretty good bar. Good,
Yeah.
good dive bar actually.
You know what? They're all good.
They
Yeah.
They're all good.
Crabby Joe's. We were there
Yep, that's, that's a good one.
on the dock.
On the dock.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yep. Yep.
And actually, what's really
Ocean
cool, the
deck.
last time I was in Daytona, I actually saw a SpaceX launch.
Oh, we did too.
Did you?
We did
Did you?
too.
Was it
Yeah, it was
night-
wasn't that
night-
awesome?
nighttime or
Oh my
daytime?
God.
Daytime.
Daytime.
I saw the nighttime.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
sick.
So the weekend I was there, it was really cool. So the
we were picking qualifying order.
So the weekend I was there, we were in Cocoa Beach at a rooftop restaurant, and there were two launches almost back to back. So I got to see those two. And that night there was a nighttime launch that I was in Daytona and could see the glow
Going
and
up through.
it take
Yeah.
off. That
Yeah,
was,
it
freaking
was
awesome.
wild.
We saw the glow from the.
From Krabby Joe's.
Yeah, and I was on Krabby's Pier
That's where we
watching
were.
it take off. Yeah.
That's where we were.
Yeah.
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 Yep. It was pretty awesome.
So if you can time something down there and actually catch a
I
launch,
saw
that's-
some other
that's
things
great.
too.
Exactly.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Beach, they're not shy.
What's
No.
that?
They're not shy at Daytona Beach.
No.
Not at all.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I've been to Florida a few times, and we've been to Cocoa Beach.
If you really love racing and you're there for that week, try to go and
Yeah.
get into Volusia.
Oh, Volusia. Yeah.
really
Yeah.
good.
Volusia
Yeah.
Speedway. That's
It's a
Sprint cars,
good-
late models.
Funny enough,
Northeastern Modifieds.
My first time at Volusia, I was really surprised because it's one of those renowned tracks that everybody wants to go and race and go to. It's pretty run down.
Oh no, they made some
Have they
significant
changed a lot?
improvements. Yeah.
Because when I went there, I was like, wow, I think Albany Saratoga Speedway is nicer than this.
Yeah,
But-
they put all new stands in.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
got
When I
beer
went there,
gardens.
it was all wood was all warped,
Yeah.
and it was pretty rickety. I was
Yeah.
alligators would have come out.
I did no dirt racing down there.
No,
No,
that I'm
on it
shocked.
every year, and I'm like, you know what?
I'm shocked.
You know what
no
happens?
dirt.
I think we rest up and then we hammer.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, we didn't rest up Wednesday night.
we get too involved.
Oof.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Next year, my goal is to go.
Wednesday.
I'm gonna go next year.
Wednesday
Wednesday we had a big night.
had a big day.
I'm gonna crash.
We did have
I'm
a
gonna
big
crash Jeremy's party next year. I'm trying to show up at his house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
was looking today for places already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, been home for 2 days, and you're already looking for.
You know, I've never not had a good time in Florida. I
love
always enjoyed Florida. Always. There's always something to do. No matter what you like to do, there's something to do there.
I gotta be
all the
honest with
time.
you, though. I do love it here.
I wouldn't want to be there in the summer. Too hot.
I don't know. I was down there for August races before.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, listen, here's how I look at it is you dress for it, right? No different than what we dress
You
when
can
we're up
only
here.
take so much off, Jeremy.
You'll adapt.
Yeah, you do adapt, actually.
You
Just
know?
drink the water.
Well, I got to Albany.
Ah.
Like, oof.
Well, I know.
Oh,
I was like,
that,
shit.
That is the worst. Florida's got the worst water ever. I have to say, no matter where I go in Florida, the water tastes horrible. Horrible.
That's why you drink bottled water. This segment's sponsored by Smart Water.
Or drink a beer.
Yeah,
You might
barley
wanna,
water.
You might want to drink a hell of a lot more than that, buddy.
Yeah. No, we yeah, you know, you
Jeremy's like, yeah, maybe you
yeah,
can
man.
drink a lot more than that.
All right, man. Well, I'll tell you. So we had a we had a great time with the Michael Waltrip Brewing Group.
Yeah,
A lot of good hospitality there with them. Shout out to Brian Sperber and
I had a
Michael
good time when
Waltrip.
I meet them. When I met them in
Fantastic.
Bristol.
oh,
yeah.
Bristol, Tennessee.
Yep.
Bristol,
Yep.
Virginia.
Yeah, that was
Yep,
fun.
That was a good time.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, we're hoping to get the brand up here soon. I'll tell you, it's pure liquid gold.
Brian was cool. I like Brian.
Brian's a great guy.
Good guy.
Great guy. You know, he's done a lot for me for our program. Shout out to NASCAR Speed Park. They came on board on a whim notice here for Daytona for the Mike Harmon Group. Also Save 22.
Save 22.
Save 22 has been a sponsor here for the last 10 years for Mike Harmon Group, and they do a lot for veterans and veterans mental health. So you know, very very proud to be part of that group, and shout out to those guys. They stuck with us when others didn't. So you know, they come to every race. They try to work with us on every race. We just signed a multi race deal with them. So pretty awesome to see with Save 22. And the NASCAR Speed Park again. You know, Michael Waltrip Brewing was on a car as well. So it was a good week, right?
Maybe one of these days we can get the guys from Safe 22 to come on.
Yeah, we can get them. We can definitely get them
That'd be
to come on.
fun. I think it's a worthwhile.
Oh, it's a great
Yeah.
story too on how this all got going.
Saving
And,
vets.
you know, when you correlate that to Carson Ware and his story, I don't want to get into that because I think it would be great to get him on
Yeah.
to talk about that, and we'll get him on here after Atlanta. Yeah, that'll be good. But man, what a great week. I mean, just you know, going back to the president, having a president there, the whole first family was there. I don't know if everybody knows that or not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were all there. Yep. So you know, I was just you know,
Were they at all accessible or no?
yeah, oh yeah, they were accessible. So if you
I did see like some of the photo ops of him
Yeah,
meeting with the drivers.
if you had credentials,
Yeah.
like you know, like we do, you could have got close to him. But I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. I look at it, the security was intense,
Yeah, it was.
and for a reason, right? For a purpose. Let's face it, right? You
Yeah.
know, multiple assassination attempts on one of the greatest presidents to set foot. You know, and I mean,
in the Oval Office.
in the Oval Office, it's truly
Or on Daytona Motor
on,
Speedway property.
or that's it,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it on the
straight
infield.
away.
You know, it was awesome. It was awesome to be part of it.
I mean, you're pretty non-political. David. What did you think of the whole thing?
I mean, I thought it was
You're not
great.
being because I don't think you and I have ever talked politics.
No,
I don't.
not much of
I don't
a-
even know where
no.
you stand.
No.
But what was your take on the whole president?
I was like, hell yeah,
Yeah.
that's my president.
yeah.
You know, I was it was cool to see him there. You know, when he stepped out of the car,
Wow.
he put his fist up, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
The,
hell yeah,
the sad thing
America.
It was epic.
The sad thing is, I think even if Joe Biden had done it, I think people would have been excited. Just because
sure.
I think a president
You know,
doing that,
Right.
I think you need that. I think
Yeah.
people need that.
He's grounded.
Yeah.
You know what that shows? It shows he's grounded with.
He's not
the
living in an
people.
ivory tower.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
and he is. I mean, let's face it, right? The guy's a multi-billionaire, right? So he could snoot his nose at many of these people, but he
Likes
takes
McDonald's.
but he
How much
takes
more genuine does he get?
he takes the time out,
Right.
Yeah.
right,
The
to
time out of
acknowledge
his day
Yeah.
to acknowledge people,
to come to Daytona.
to go to Daytona.
All
and
the
everybody's
shit
like,
he's working on.
well, you want to hear this
Yeah.
one?
100,000 people in the stands. Plus, I couldn't tell you how many people were on the inside.
Oh my God, it was insane.
You know, it was a
Actually,
packed house.
I was reading the stats. It was sold out.
Yep.
So it was
Camping was sold out, too.
150,000 spectators were there, and that doesn't include all the
infield.
media,
Right.
all the teams, all the vendors, everything else is there. So just spectators that bought tickets for the race, whether it be camping or stands, is 150,000, and it was sold out.
So no, that's just the stands, 150.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just telling you how they broke it
yeah.
down. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Tim Goulet, shout out to Tim.
Tim.
Rise Motorsports.
Rise
He's texting me
Motorsports,
now.
they had a tough day. They had a tough day.
Oh, looks like we got ourselves a sponsor for Atlanta, baby.
Oh, there we go.
there we go.
Yep.
Nice.
Go Hitch Go. So Go Hitch Go. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Very good.
So
Hop on a plane.
let's go.
Let's go to Atlanta.
Let's go. Yeah, hot Atlanta. It's not going to be hot there. In fact, they're talking actually below 20.
Global warming.
Yeah, in the 20s overnight down there. So they're allowing electric heaters to be on the cars so the cars don't freeze up. So yeah. Oh, we got another one too. Hang on, hold please. This is
real time, folks.
Yeah.
Real time.
Wow.
Folks.
so it looks like we got Avail Financial on there. Looks like we got Total Wheel Repair TWR going on the car for Atlanta. Guys, this is a big deal for us, right? For MHR and our group. When you get photos like this, this is pretty cool stuff. Carson Ware will be driving the car. Man,
So, example on the pillar like that. What,
where's that? Right here?
yeah, what'd that cost?
Well,
Roundabout figures
we'll say that'll be $1,500 to $2,000
for the season or for the race.
for the race.
For the race.
For the race.
Yeah, per race. Yep. We're looking at 25, 30,000 there, probably 10 to 15 here. Yep. So, we like to bring people on that are partners, right? That are gonna stick around, that love the small team, and I'm pretty proud to say that we're part of that team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Jay, you are too.
And a fun fact, Dave, if it wasn't for me, Jeremy wouldn't even know these people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Back in the
That's
day
right.
with Craig.
Craig,
With Craig.
you
Craig
heard that
Godfrey.
story, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if you get him on speakerphone?
Let me see.
He'll answer me. I know he will.
I've called him a couple times, talked to him.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just tough to listen to.
I know. I'll tell him he's got 5 minutes.
We can hear it pretty good, actually.
Okay.
Bonjour.
The buongiorno. The oui oui. Craig, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
So you're on a live podcast right now with myself, Jason Thompson.
What's going on, Craig?
What's going on, Jason?
Hanging
Yeah.
in there, my friend. Hanging in there. You're live on the
Two-
TGM Studios, Two Guys and Mike podcast.
Yes.
Awesome.
And we were just talking about you and Mike Harmon Racing and how we all got together and to know each other and just
What a story.
Hey,
so
so keep
just-
it PG, Craig, but turn it loose.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear you.
So just because we have Dave here and we're kind of telling him a little bit. So why don't you give your side of the whole how we all got together and got to know each other?
Well, I was at Watkins Glen and doing a deal with a hospitality unit, and the rental, our motel got screwed up, so I didn't have a room. So I stayed at the trailer. We had, I think, 2 or 3 53-foot trailers at Watkins Glen. We had the big wigs there. We really big wigs. But anyway, I stayed there that night, and of course I have to go out and wander around. So
That's what we call it, wandering around.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, so I go out and wander around, and wandered up into your guys' campsite. and Jeremy and Jason got me a little drunk. And
Well, I would never do that.
No, you're talking Walter and myself.
well, yeah, it was unreal.
Yeah.
And all that like mixed up stuff and looked like a slushy or something.
The slushy machine.
It gets you every time, Craig.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so funny. So next thing I know, I'm like done, and I don't know, I fell asleep in a chair or something.
On the couch.
On the couch.
On the Jason casting couch.
Was it?
It was a casting couch.
I think I think it was you, Jeremy, or Jason. I can't remember. Had to give me a ride back to the trailer.
That was me. In my golf
Yeah,
cart.
the next morning in the golf cart.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, I'm wrecked. and I don't get that way too often, you know. And luckily we had the whole stuff set up. It's a lot of work to put that thing up. There's these big tents that come off the trailer and stuff, and we were on the front stretch. It was a big deal, and I couldn't stand up. I couldn't. I just stumbled around for the whole day.
Oh.
Out of that, I got a lifelong friendship
Yeah.
out of you guys,
Yeah.
and got you into NASCAR. You know, following NASCAR, and you guys help out my buddy, Mike Harmon, and you know, it's pretty cool how this all started.
I would agree.
It
I
all,
miss it, Craig.
It all started with the slushy
Yeah,
machine.
me too. What's that?
It all started with the slushy machine.
Oh yeah, well, right. It was a slushy machine.
Yep.
I'm there, and that party's going on next to you guys. And
Pole
we're
position.
there,
Oh, yeah.
we're by your place, and we're just goofing off. You didn't know me, I didn't know you.
Just hanging out, having a good time.
Just hanging out.
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, and next thing I know, you know, I don't know if it was the next year I came up, and I can't remember how it all.
Yeah, it was the following year that you and I hooked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I came up with NASCAR, you know, this was ARCA. The year, you know, the next year was ARCA, and then it was NASCAR, and we all got together, and we all got, you know, going.
Couple libations.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's some funny stuff, man. It's, you know, it's what dreams are made of. You know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's always been a good time. You're a good friend. I always hearken to that story whenever we talk about racing, NASCAR, Watkins Glen, and we always bring up our good friend Craig.
Yeah,
I
we love you, man. What the the stories, the the support. I can tell you that on a moment's notice there, you were able to help out everybody and get things done, and probably one of the hardest working guys I know. You would you get at it first thing in the morning. I know that firsthand. And,
Chief cook and bottle washer.
boy, for people who don't know, right? We were talking about the grind. Craig embraced the grind. I mean, he would work all day on these cars and drive all night back back to North Carolina. So,
this, it's just like I go 30 hours a day for sure. My one memory of Watkins Glen was when we had that show car.
Yep.
So we dumped that off at your campsite.
Yeah, I remember
We were
that.
just talking about
Yeah, we
it.
were talking about it.
Yeah. So, Mike takes off with the truck and trailer, parks it in the parking lot, and he looks at me. And I'm driving the other rig with a 47 car. He goes, "Give me your keys." I'm like,
Oh yeah, I remember this one.
yeah. And I'm like, "What do you think of? Just give me the keys." All right. So I gave him the keys. And of course, we got that slush machine.
Oh yeah, that was a rough night.
Oof.
Oh,
That was a night. What's the space game? Wasn't it?
Who's that?
I brought a tent and all
Oh, yeah.
that stuff to sleep in. We had a good time, and I had this idea to raise money for the race team to sign people's names on the car. And this turned into a pretty big thing.
It did.
I mean,
Remember the line of people?
are coming around. Oh my God, it was so funny. People are coming around, signing their name on the car, and I don't know. We got a good amount of money on that deal. You know, of course, you know, I get a little crazy, and next thing I know, I'm sleeping in the chair all night long.
Cash Patel was confirmed.
It's like, I'm glad I took them keys from you. Yeah.
I think I had to pick you up at 0600.
At my site.
You did.
Yeah,
At my
your-
site.
At Jay's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So you brought me down to the parking lot. My
Was that the year the truck got?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
standing next to him. He's just shaking his head. He doesn't know what. How do you do this stuff?
That's when you said, blame Jason, blame Jason.
He's like, "Are you okay to drive into the track?" I said, "Hell yeah, I'm okay."
Remember he yelled at me. Remember that?
Did he yell at you what? For what happened to me or what?
Yeah, of
I
course.
remember that.
I was supposed to.
You were supposed to be your
I
chaperone.
was supposed to, bird dog you.
You did watch me.
Watch you get drunk.
There was no turning back.
We were all with you. We were all with you.
Oh my God, it was so funny. So we go into the track, and he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." So we unload up the cars, run the race, load everything up, and drive like 6-8 hours back out of Watkins Glen, and end up at some truck stop. And he looks at me and he shakes his head. It's like, I ain't never met a guy like you ever before.
You are a road warrior, man. You're a road king.
Oh my God. It's we had so much fun.
So, Craig, we're gonna get you back on this podcast.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna wrap up this segment with you here. We appreciate you answering, and I'll touch base with you here. We'll get you the link.
It's awesome. You know, you guys have a good time, and man, I missed you at Daytona. You and Jason. I missed it. You know, I've been a little sick here lately, and I'm doing better. But
Well, we're thinking of you, buddy.
all right, appreciate you, man.
All right, we love you.
Yeah, I love you guys too.
Be good, man.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. That was just on a whim, right? We just did that. But Craig is he's a legend of the garage.
He is a legend.
Anybody you can talk to. You mentioned Craig's name, and it's oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, so some of those times, I mean, he drank and he partied with us hard.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'd wake up at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. I mean, hungover like you wouldn't believe. And he's gone.
Yeah.
And he's wrenching in the garage. I'm like, how the frig does he do that?
Yeah. I'm hurt.
Seasoned.
Nuts.
Veteran.
Or that, you know, he'd get up, work all day at the race, whether the car qualified or not or whatever,
Get in
and then
front,
they'd
drive.
load up and drive 8 hours.
Jason, do we have some breaking news?
We do have some breaking news, folks. Breaking news. Coming at you live off the wire. Cash Patel was confirmed as our FBI director.
Let the house of cards fall now, baby.
Trump lawyers, Cash Patel is confirmed as FBI director by the Senate despite the deep divide 42 minutes ago on AP.
Oh yeah, let's do a little.
Hot Tui. Do I even have, wait, do I have that? I don't know if I have those.
Oh,
Yeah, I
they're
think,
the best.
I think we got rid of those.
Oh,
Yeah, we did.
we gotta bring some.
We had some.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be a good one.
Yeah,
man.
man.
We gotta have him do it, though.
I
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
So we have a fellow podcaster on here. You guys have tuned into the Phil Barrett Show, and that's his MO. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
So,
Yeah, man.
You know Phil?
I know Phil very well.
Phil's awesome.
Great guy.
Yep.
Phil's awesome. He does a show weekly here, the Phil Barrett Show.
Yeah.
Barrett Show.
Yeah.
So
So.
let's wrap this thing up here. I got to tell you, Jay. I know you when you called me here. This was awesome.
Yeah.
But to be able to tell our story right and we're looking.
Meander in the racing world.
Yeah. I think what we'll do is we might have Dave down, the Flying Pierogi here. I know we talked about doing a little race podcast.
So what I was thinking
we're gonna do this.
is, I think it would be really cool if we can try to pull it off. Maybe once a month during racing season, set up on the rooftop of Jared's Hauler and do a live stream from the racetrack.
Not a bad idea.
Have drivers come up and check in and say hello, and our car was doing great, and they'd leave. Have Jeremy come up and do Jeremy shit, and whatever.
Jeremy shit.
I think it'd be fun.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeremy
we
does.
don't know what he
Yeah.
does, but he does Jeremy
Does
stuff.
something.
But there's photo evidence that I was working on the car.
You
My hands were dirty.
you tightened a bolt on a freaking windshield. Give it a break.
It was all for the camera.
Yes.
Brady was like, "Hey, make sure he has that tool in
Look,
his
there's
hand."
no fucking
Oh.
calluses
Oh.
there at all.
His hands.
Get out of here. Jesus Christ. Fucking guy.
He does work once in a while.
Yeah. Works at working.
Well,
At nothing.
Networking.
Yeah.
you gotta, right? I mean, the
That's
marketing
part of the
piece,
game.
right?
Actually,
is
that's part of the
big.
game. Yeah.
He's marketing. That.
Yeah, because you have sponsors there, you have to take care of these.
His mouth muscles work as much as his hands. Talking, that is. Talking.
He was pushing though. He was pushing the car.
Was he?
He was right there going through tech.
I ran.
Again, there's probably a camera around.
I ran.
And you did say somebody has it on video, so you did it for the camera.
I didn't even know they were there. Actually,
Oh.
he said to me, he's like, I never seen you run like that. I go, that'll be the last time you see that.
As he's huffing and puffing.
No, it was good. I
Running is not my friend, so I understand that.
No, well, when you have to go get parts and they're on the other side of the cup garage, you got to do what you got to do because you
Yeah.
got to do it quick. And
I remember a friend of mine had to do that one time for a couple of parts. And he
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. He goes, "Why do we have to park these cars so far away from the garage?"
Yeah, it's a long run.
It is.
You know,
It
there's
is.
no-
Tires. Nothing is centrally located at these.
And
garages
nothing's
either.
light
No.
when you're
I
running.
mean, and I got to say too, shout out to RCR and that group. They did a hell of a job here to get the car situated.
Hope you enjoyed your gift.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed that gift.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
y'all.
Thank you.
What's that?
Can't talk about it.
Yep.
You guys suck.
Yeah.
We'll tell you off
Give him
air.
a gift.
Yep. But
Did you leave him a Blumpkin in the car?
No.
No.
We took care of RCR.
Oh yeah. It was a good deal. You just got to take care of these people.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, if they help you, you gotta help them.
Absolutely.
I get that. That's
You know, there's
give
everybody's
and
there to
take.
help each other.
Yeah.
We helped out.
That's the one thing I have to say in the racing community. No matter if it's a big guy or a small guy, everybody's there to help everybody out.
For the ARCA cars.
Yeah.
The ARCA teams took a huge hit.
Yeah. Quizno was the one who helped us out.
Big crash in ARCA.
Wow. Huge crash. Back at Monopoly took a massive hit.
Is that the one up on the up in the air?
No, that was Ryan Priest
Ryan
in the
Priest.
500. But the ARCA race, what did we count? 10 cars in the first wreck.
First wreck.
10 cars out.
Half the field going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Second one, another 10. There was.
it was carnage.
All over the place.
Carnage. But that's the thing too.
That's what the super speedways have become. Demolition.
And they're hard, it's hard to, you don't want
You
to see
say
that, and you don't want to see these teams wreck out because they're small teams.
They are. The ARCA teams are small. But we ended up.
Better.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Check.
But I'll tell you, that was the thing, right? So the 85 city garage team, that was their first race, with a new car, and they had an incident on track with back Monopoly, and the car was tore up. A lot of crew members were there and just staring at the car, and Dave Heyer, cut this, do this, move this,
Come on, let's get.
Yeah, we gotta get this
Oh,
thing
they
going.
just
They
froze
froze.
or
They froze, right?
Froze.
And it's a lot, right? When you look at it and you're like, oh my
ready to
god.
start.
But
I start.
for us,
And there's a million people watching you, and
You just want to get it.
pressure's on.
yep. I mean, we jump in, right?
Get it
and
done,
and you know what? Mike Harmon's right there as well.
Right.
Mike.
Well, those pay dividends when you need help. You
Right.
know what I mean?
That's what it comes
And they're
down
there to
to.
help too.
Yeah.
We had to borrow a welder from a team.
Yeah, from Rise Motorsports. Shout out to Tim Goulet and that group
Yeah.
too. Appreciate y'all, Brita. Thank you, because we needed that welder bad, and
Right.
that was a 120 volt, so you can just plug in your generator.
Nice.
Yeah.
Those guys.
It worked out great.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get one of those for that.
They're
for that
cheap.
group.
You can buy them at
Yeah.
local hardware store
Yeah,
for a couple $100.
it was nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Use a
decent
flux
one.
core wire. Flux
flux.
core wire.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no gas.
Yep.
I mean, you can't weld anything heavy, but for what you.
Well, no, we needed the gas to weld on
Yeah,
that.
this is the gas.
Because we had to have the gas because they require that for the welds.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
How's the difference?
Yep.
I mean, the thing is, you need gas if you're going to weld more than 3/16. You're not welding 3/16 steel.
No.
No, I don't know. I don't make the rules. We just follow
I
them.
bet you it's a sponsorship deal.
Could be.
Air Gas
Air
probably
Gas or some
sponsors
stuff.
or something
Yeah.
like that. I don't-
Miller, Hobart. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Big shout out to Miller and Hobart.
Oh, is that Johnny Miller?
He's in the Caribbean.
Yeah, where
Yeah,
Johnny Miller's in the Caribbean right now.
all things are quiet.
Yeah, Miller Motorsports Group.
Miller Motorsports.
Boy, I'll tell you, he's how about him with a swag? He's got race cars for
Race
sale.
cars, yeah.
Little 164th race cars for sale. Okay,
Have to get him on here.
yeah, Johnny Miller. He's got a lot of stories.
Yeah, you talk about networking. You think he'd be networking this podcast for his own spot on the TGM Studios.
Well,
here. And
you
have
know,
all
I
these
think
guys, because coming up, we're gonna have the computer set up so you can Zoom call-ins,
Yeah.
and you know,
we're ready. We got it lined up.
We'll do little head-to-head with Junior's outtake
Yeah,
podcast here.
yeah. We might be the dirt
Dominant.
mows. Dirt mows. No,
Whatever. Dirt Mo's.
I don't know.
Okay, there, Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt. Yar.
I'm your sister.
Do you see how this shit goes off track? Oh my god. But no, listen, the fans that watch here on TGM, and you know, it's pretty cool to have Craig on there. We will, we'll get Mike Harmon on here. Mike's got a lot of stories to tell. He's been in the motorsports world for the better part of 4 decades, so can't it's going to be pretty awesome to get him on. We'll get Carson Ware on here. Carson's story is one of rock bottom to back to rock star, and I'm pretty proud of what he did here this past week in Daytona. It's been nothing short than awesome, right, Dave? I mean,
Absolutely.
Carson was just a rock star.
Phenomenal. He's such a great guy.
Yeah, we'll get Vargas on too. Vargas was texting me here.
Now I feel bad.
Why?
I feel bad because I prejudged him based on his
You did?
tattoos. I did.
Yep.
I said to Jeremy, like, oh, what's up with your driver? Tattoos in the face.
Like he's
Then
great.
he kind of told me the backstory. I'm like, God, I prejudged.
Rock star. Kid's a rock star. And I'll tell you, he writes music too.
Does he?
He's a pretty talented kid.
Wow.
So looking forward to having him on here. In fact, I talked to him and Rick Ware. I think when they do the Northeast Swing here in NASCAR, we're going to have him as our guests up at the Albany Saratoga Speedway. And in fact, maybe we'll see if we can put Carson in the car. He's a little taller than my son, so that might be a little challenge. We might have to.
Fabricate yet another seat.
Yeah, we might be fabricating some seat mounts, but yeah, we'll we're gonna work to get these guys on here, I think this might be the start of something, Dave.
I hope so.
Let's go.
I really hope so.
Yeah, that's big stuff that we just saw on that phone, didn't we? That's good stuff. We're pretty proud of that group. Man, can't be more proud of Kevin Cram. And I'll tell you too, it was pretty cool to see. And I don't know if you caught this. So Dawson Cram is a driver of ours as well. Kevin Cram's dad, Kevin crew chief, Dawson car chief,
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Vargas spotted. So these guys are drivers, okay. And I'll tell you, if any drivers are out there and they're watching this, they know exactly what I'm going to say. Is that when you see another driver jump in your seat or what was your car, you could, that hurts.
I'm sure it does.
That hurts.
That's got to sting.
But these guys jumped in.
Yeah.
Because they know they want to see MHR be successful, right? So we do have the 47 too. That is on. It's mothballed right now, but it can come out at any time. We registered it with NASCAR for 2025. But to see those guys work and to work hard to come together as a unit was probably one of the most rewarding things that I've seen in quite some time. Mike and I, there's a picture of Mike and I talking on pit road, and I think you took it.
I took the picture.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be more proud, and I said that to Mike, was to see everybody's ego put away, because the driver has a big ego, right?
That was always my Carmen's biggest problem, was the driver's egos.
Yep. I mean, we had great drivers
Yes,
come through.
very much so.
We've had wonderful
But
drivers.
the problem
come
is the
through.
drivers are in their heads. And
But they're the best. They're the
Yeah.
best, and they took their sponsors and went other places, and they forgot where they came from, right? But not these guys, and I will say that. So that quote was for others, not for
Oh,
for
I
this
know,
group
yes.
that we saw of the Crams working with Carson Ware, with Ryan Vargas working with Carson Ware. These guys put their egos aside to make sure that car was in tip top
As
shape,
best
ready
it
to
could
go.
be, yeah.
And Mike and I talked about that, and he couldn't be more proud either. So that was pretty impressive to see. You know, when you go to a new season, you have a lot of high hopes, right?
A lot of uncertainty.
But a lot of uncertainty too, right? And you know what happened here in Daytona with the rain that ultimately screwed us. Mother Nature does not like us for some reason. I don't know why, but
Seems to be an ongoing issue, unfortunately.
but I have a lot of hope going into this year. I have a lot of feel good going into this. I really do. This is probably one of the better years that I felt going to the track, Dave. I don't know if you feel that way.
I think, you know, after last year's experience going through, I think we were much more ahead of the game this year. The car was more prepped and ready to go. And like I say, I think, you know, with Carson being involved in the Ware family, I think we have a chance of making some races and
Really showing them what we have.
competing.
Yeah. I mean, we can easily run in the top 20. I'll tell you that right now. I would.
And just doing that will make a huge difference
Oh,
for that race
absolutely.
team.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're in the money then.
Right.
Yeah, we need to get money in points. We had them on points this year, but the past winners, provisional,
Yeah.
kept us out. So,
I mean, we finished a race last year. It was exciting.
oh my God,
You know, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it's awesome to make the show.
you know, Saturdays we tune in, right, Dave? You know, when we're not at the track, you know, and we're right in with the group, right, making sure, you know, there's stuff I hear on the radio, and I'll text back to the team on the track at the track rather, and say, hey man, you know, you might want to look at this or whatever, and it's like, yep, 10-4, thanks, you know, so you know, it's almost like we're watching from afar, but we're giving the intel back, you know, of what may be transpiring that they don't know. So, you know, there's racing's a love, it's a lifestyle and a love, and you know, I'm equally as proud to be part of that team. I know Dave is as well. You know, when I proposed this to him,
I was like, what?
yeah,
Say what?
what?
I don't know about that.
And
I'm like, when are we going to the next one?
it is, man. It
You know?
it
It's
hooks you.
addicting.
It is.
It is. It's been awesome. I mean, it's been a great ride. I can't thank Mike Harmon and that group enough for allowing me to do what I do. He lets me make some significant business decisions on his behalf, and some are good, some are bad, but in the end, he trusts my decisions and what what the outcomes are. So it's been awesome, and I can't thank him enough for that.
Nice.
I appreciate him also.
You gotta get him on here.
Yeah, we're gonna get him on.
Definitely.
Be fun. Little round table.
Yeah.
Got stories.
How about pinging the old school hat? We saw he got that. I was so pissed that he got that first because I was gonna be like,
Because
"Hey,
now,
look what I got."
now you're just a copycat.
No, I had to go get one. I'm not gonna lie. Lori's like, I told you to buy it. My wife told me to buy it.
Well, you should just got the Tide one, the retro Tide.
No, I didn't have
It
it.
wasn't as retro as you would think it was.
No?
Oh no, it wasn't. It was like a little weird thing,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
I got
Yeah.
a better one
Yeah.
in the basement.
I do
Yeah.
too. I do too.
A lot of retro though.
Yeah.
You know, you see a lot of
old names coming back.
a lot of old names.
Well,
yeah.
like I said,
They have a whole hauler.
podcast.
They have a whole hauler with just all retro stuff. So
Really?
yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm telling you, this goes back to what we originally said. I think NASCAR is trying to appeal to get the old crowd back into the sport. Because with the old crowd came real money.
Right.
Well, you can't use cash at the racetrack, by the way.
No, it's all cashless.
Cashless.
Yeah, that sucks.
Some of it is.
That
There's
sucks.
cash still available. You can buy stuff with cash,
Yeah.
but for the most part,
Well, unfortunately, mind you, I hate not buying things cash
Yeah.
because you can kind of wheel and deal. But with theft, you can't steal with cash.
So here's one for you too, and shout out to Frank Kelleher and all that group down at Daytona. What they do is they actually at the concessions they bring in different organizations, youth sports, say the Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, whatever. They serve the concessions at the wherever the liquid gold is, the beer concession, and all the tips go back to
That organization.
the organization.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Right?
Yeah.
When you look at it, I mean, listen, that rain delay.
They made bank.
Was there any
oh
beer
my
left?
God, killed it.
There was no beer left.
Sold out of beer.
They sold out of beer.
Sold out.
Sold out of
Sold
beer.
out of beer.
Yeah, it was pretty epic
Sold
actually.
out of popcorn.
Popcorn. Wait.
And I wasn't there.
Oh, remember that?
Nope.
God
I had
damn
I had to make a deal, didn't I,
Yep,
Dave?
Had a wheeling deal for a bag
I
of
did.
popcorn.
Quiche.
Quiche.
They did do quiche.
So,
Yeah, I got it though.
but so
That
I
was good shit.
That
You
was
know,
good
I'll tell
popcorn.
you. But
Not as good as G's.
No, geez.
you know when you see in the movies where you go someplace and there's no place available, there's no spots, and you slip the money and they find you a spot. I actually did that last time I went to Florida. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Went to a restaurant and
Felt
the
like a
lady,
king,
the
didn't
lady
ya?
goes, it's 3 hours free
You're
for
like-
a table. So I took out a $50 bill. I'm like, can you get me in 15 minutes? She goes, I have your table ready in 15 minutes. Sure enough.
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Cha-ching.
Hey.
And he goes, I thought it was 3 hours away. I'm like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
He talks.
It's the second time I've done that. The first time was with some friends. I went in St. Augustine. That was
That's pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
I never thought it would work, but it does. So anybody else who ever
Yeah.
thought of that, if there's a long wait,
Cash out.
throw some little bit of
Cash
money around.
Patel it.
It's funny how Cash
Oh,
Patel
Cash
it.
Patel.
So
Confirmed, by the way.
yes, boy, that team's going to be incredible. It's either going to be incredible
No.
or horrible. There isn't going to be anywhere in between on this.
It already
on
is.
This team.
It already is. Look at what Pete Hegseth's doing.
Well, it's still early.
Listen,
Still early.
I'm gonna tell you. I like what I see.
I'm not a big fan of his tariff policy, actually. I get it, but
Wait,
I've got
see.
two loves going here, and
I
I'm
know.
having a hard time with it.
Wait and see.
I know. I think it's all part of the negotiation.
The art of the deal.
But the problem is, I think he's making a lot of enemies, and
I don't think so.
I think so. I think the Canadian people are really, really mad.
Well,
And I
50, become the 51st state.
yes, that's the kind of stuff that I think drives the biggest wedge there is. I know Trump says stuff like that just to get people rabble roused. That's his shtick. But I think when you do that, it's one thing to do that to the Democrats or to somebody on TV. It's another thing to do that to a whole other country and a whole other people. And I think it's going to backfire on him in this one. I hope not.
I don't think so.
But I think it will.
I think you're gonna see.
You know, if you're in Canada, you can't buy Tito's in Canada anymore.
Yeah, hey,
You can't buy any American liquor in Canada.
hey.
They
I
took
guess
it
I
all.
won't be going there then, huh?
They took it
Yeah.
all off the shelf. All of it.
Tito's went to Litos.
Yeah.
Hey, more for
No,
us.
no Jameson. Any American liquors off the shelf. There's a big boycott of American-made products by the people of Canada right now. It's
More for us.
well, again, those are all markets that belonged to us at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like the divisiveness that he's causing, to especially to a
There has
very
to be
good
though right
ally.
now.
Right.
There has to be right now though. We were getting pilfered, but that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother.
But he could do that without the public insulting of the people, and I think that's where I've always had a problem with Trump.
You did.
Always have.
You did. And
Not that I don't agree with the reason why he's doing it. Things have to change, and he's upsetting the apple cart. I get that, but
yeah.
anyways. So this was a racing podcast. We're not talking
Yeah.
about politics.
So-
Why do you keep roping politics back in?
You
He's a
went.
politician.
Oh God, you
Dave,
know.
he went full tilt on this last one. You did. You went.
Well, there's a big game tonight, and I'm excited about it. And you know,
Are you gonna be making? Are you
USA.
popping your popcorn
USA.
tonight? USA.
I-
USA. Yeah.
USA Hockey is going to take the Tuck brothers are going to,
You're gonna get a bag of G's.
and I'm going to sit there with
Kettle corn.
with my caramel kettle corn because that's my favorite, and I'm going to watch the game and watch the score.
With a Tito's.
Not only no, I don't drink anymore. Actually, I'll stick to my Coca-Cola, but
Diet Coke.
no, I like regular Coca-Cola.
We're gonna talk.
Yeah, there's more. Hey, listen,
Mm.
if you're gonna drink soda, may as well go the non diet because the diet is so full of chemicals to make it taste half.
That's why I drink water.
I like carbonated water actually.
I do too.
So, but it doesn't go well with popcorn. Be that as it may, I'm gonna watch the game, and I think, as my buddy agreed, we both said it's gonna be like a 4-3 USA win.
I think it's gonna be tight. I definitely do. Yeah, I think it. To your
I'm
point though earlier, I
But
hope that the American fans in Boston
Do not boo.
do not boo. Please
No, I hope not.
don't do that.
Don't boo.
No, show them what classes.
Show them classes and kick their ass on the ice.
Yeah.
Kick their ass on the ice.
Although, I don't know if either of you follow hockey at all.
I do.
You do.
Yep.
So they're
My
playing.
son,
They're
my
playing
son
in
plays.
Boston.
Remember? He yelled at me.
That's right. Your son. They're playing in Boston, and the Boston Bruins captain, Brad Marchand, is also captain of the Canadian team playing in Boston. So it'd be interesting how the fans react to
Right. With
their favorite, one of their favorite players playing for Team Canada in Boston. So, and that's the thing. That's what I don't understand with the booing is, so the Canadian, the American team captain is Matthews, his last name, Mike Matthews, I believe it is. He's Canadian. I mean, he's American playing in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in Montreal booing a Canadian team's captain.
who's from?
Well, I don't know where he's from. He's an American player. He's American, not a Canadian. So it's like you're booing people that live in your own country. It's like it doesn't make any sense because we're so intertwined. The booing makes no sense to me. But yes, it may go USA.
Yeah, USA. So little hockey stuff going on here locally, right? Sunday, March 16th at the hang on, hold please. At the Weeble Ave Ice Rink in Saratoga Springs, 30 Weeble Ave. There'll be the Conquering Kids Cancer in association with the Saratoga City Tavern and King's Tavern. The Saratoga Springs Fire Department hockey team will be playing the Worcester, Mass firefighters hockey team.
Are you going to that?
Yeah, I think.
I hope you.
I'm hoping to be there. That weekend is Port Royal, so we'll be.
So your son's on.
Tommy, in the 23C big block modified, Ruby contracting, modified GGS sponsored. Modified will be partaking down at Port Royal Speedway.
You going?
Fast track.
Possibly.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him there.
Yeah, possibly.
I need a veteran tire changer.
I need a vagina.
A vagina. Whoa. The fuck was that?
Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Goldfinger.
Goldfinger.
Or member.
Remember. Whoa. You see how quick this stuff goes?
I know.
It goes haywire.
My brain is.
We can be here all day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know.
And it's like seamless.
It
you
is.
know?
It is.
It just flows like a river.
Yeah. So get up there.
Niagara Falls, slowly I churn, inch by inch. Anyways, forget it.
Wow.
And you know that?
Yeah, man.
You know, we used to say it all the time. Come on, you guys must have known this. Pitch 106 every time. Niagara Falls, Mason.
Oh, Mason Sheep.
Oh, Mason
Yeah.
Sheep.
They
Wow.
used to always say that.
That's a blast from
Niagara
the past, huh?
Falls, slowly I churn.
What they used to do? They used to do the Breakfast Club.
I went to a couple of those.
Yeah, they were
What-
wild.
Some
They were
what
wild.
Was the restaurant where currently the Outback is? What was the name of that restaurant?
Donovan's.
Yes, I
They
went
used to do them there all the time.
two of them there.
They were wild.
What was that? Who was the girl that was on there?
Oh yeah.
She used to always wear a T-shirt. Silly faggot, dicks are for chicks.
Yeah.
What the hell is her name? You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Ah, man.
I don't know. People cheered at that T-shirt.
And I think, and then she did like the night stuff, right? DJ that night or something.
I don't
like that,
remember.
too.
I only listened to Mason Sheen in the morning. I wasn't a classic rock guy, but
Yeah, you like rap, right?
yeah. It's urban techno.
Oh yeah, you would have loved the Pitbull show. It was awesome, actually. By the way.
Yeah, you should see Jeremy in his white suit.
Oh yeah, it was
Pretty
awesome.
dapper.
My glow sticks.
Yep.
It was awesome, actually. That was an actually awesome opening, wasn't it?
That
It was a good
does-
time.
It was a good time.
Why does that visual not freaking surprise me? A white suit with freaking glow sticks? I see it.
I'm a man.
Wearing a white straw hat fedora.
I'm a man of the people.
Give it to the world. Boom, boom. Give it-
Mr. Worldwide, Mr. 305.
There you go, Mr. 518. You mean?
Yeah, I'm.
Okay.
Well, yeah, let's wrap this up.
All right.
We've been on for almost an hour and 45 minutes. How quickly the time flies.
Wow, it was fun. A lot of
Good
fun
time.
today. A lot of
Yeah,
good
yeah.
stories.
And I'm glad you came on. I know I took a little bit of coaxing.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all
You were
good.
like, I don't know what to expect here.
You're popped.
I don't know.
It's over, Johnny.
When's the next
So-
one?
Oh,
Yeah.
look at it! He wants to
You,
come back.
you know what's funny, right? Is
We'll put together an itinerary.
there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of people. Yeah, we'll do a nice little
Gotta
nice
stay on
little
course,
deal
you
here.
know?
Well, that's actually, believe it or not, that is actually my biggest problem. Is that the way my brain works.
It's like
I'm all
herding
over
a
the place.
cat.
Yes, very much so. That's why I usually have notes,
Yeah.
but I tend to. I don't like a scheduled show because I find it's not organic. So I like the meandering part, but to be rabble roused back is always a good thing.
Always come back to
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you want to have some of that offshoot talk
Absolutely.
conversations. That's
yeah, it was good. Listen. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think telling stories and really
Cully and Craig.
calling
That was
Craig in. Shout out to Craig Godfrey, man. And I know
He's had a rough life.
he's had a rough run, but I'll tell you one thing, guys,
Stand
resilient.
up.
He's a stand up guy, got a heart of gold.
His little dog Rhodey.
Yeah, Rhodey, man. But just recently he's had some he's been sick, a little health issue there. So our thoughts and prayers are with him
Yes.
to get better here soon. And I to the flying pierogi, Dave Pingalski, right? This guy does a lot for a lot of people too. And many people don't know what he does behind the scenes for people. But Dave takes care of many people in our community, and it goes under the radar quite often. So, Dave, thanks for what you do.
And Dave, being a man of many talents, if
Yeah.
you look back into the channel, there is a short video of Dave making wreaths.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
big Christmas wreath maker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
big
supposed
time.
to get back together to
Yeah.
kissing ball,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he got tongue tied.
You were just kissing other people's balls.
He got tongue tied.
Yeah.
You were kissing other people's balls. But no, this was a great show. I think we're looking forward to it. I think what we'll do, Dave, is I think we'll start this race podcast here. We'll try to get down weekly and
Do like a race recap for the
race
weekend.
I
recap.
think that'd be fun.
Yeah. We can do it on Tuesdays.
Probably would love to get involved in that, Mr. Vincent.
Well, see what he does.
Yeah.
We miss you, Mike.
We miss you. Hope you feel better.
Yeah. All right, wrap
With
this thing
that
up,
said and
baby.
done,
All right.
Dave, thank you.
You're so
Jeremy,
welcome.
till
Thank
next
you for
time.
having me.
And we shall see you on the flip side.
Woo.